That I'm sorry, I couldn't hear her. I'll go ahead and mute. Hi, Shawnte. I think what your concept of it sounds great. I probably, if I have this feeling of not proceeding and being alone with that person because of the way times are, I think I would just stick to it because you just don't want to put yourself in any accusation moment of any time trying to defend yourself when you're actually doing the right thing. So if your mind is telling you that you should just stick to it, man.
This is Dr. PJ. My quick question is out.
I just said Educator Health Wells. All right. Can we let Patty close up? Patty, go. All right, welcome to Winning on Wednesdays. And it's been amazing. And we're going to pass it over now to Health Wells. Well,
you can get your question off. Yeah, you can get that question off, and then I'm ready right after. All right.
Come on in, Pastor Jeff. Go ahead.
Thank you, Health. Ramon, the question is, what did your wife say about it? And you don't have to answer that.
Pastor Jeff, she's the one encouraging me with pleading, almost tears, to spend time with him and take him out. She is the other person who's begging me to take him out and encourage him. We're all a close family, we all grew up together, but I'll pass it to Health and we can do this another day. But thank you for asking, but she is the one encouraging me to take him out.
So Ramon, before I start my segment, I'll definitely chime in. So I was waiting since I knew I was getting ready to drill them down. Listen, y'all do not want to miss when I tell you I'm finna cook and I'm finna be unapologetic. I'm all right if some of y'all unfollow me after I finish saying what I'm saying. But Ramon, being someone that has been the recipient of someone like you, because my bonus dad came into my life a bit later. But when I think about my best friend's dad was a police officer in the area. And so like when her parents went through the divorce, like, hey, I got to go too. And I cannot tell you, Ramon, the value that I got getting to go to the pig bowl like with him. And I'm a little girl at this time, getting to go to Miami's Best Pizza like with him, just like all of those experiences. And he like values to this day. I tell people like, I may not know who my biological father was, Ramon, but God didn't leave me fatherless. And I thank God for my best friend's dad, like being a dad to me as well. And apart from my bonus dad, like I'm telling you, Ramon, like there's something there. Even if it's you taking that time to go to the park. He used to throw football with me, like at the park. Like I hope that just being someone who was on the child end, a recipient of it, I'm grateful that my best friend's dad took up that personal time like with me and I got to get some one-on-one time with me. He knew what it was. My mom was the only unwed, like mother in the neighborhood at that time. Do you get what I'm saying, Ramon? So like, I don't, it just feels different. So I just wanted to share that. Mm-hmm.
Your segment, thank you for that. And this is why the challenge is so hard, because my wife, that was her angle with almost tears. I was in a school I volunteer for. And maybe it's the attraction of young men who don't have a dad in their life. He's a young man also who doesn't have a dad in his life. With tears in his eyes, he said, Ramon, will you come back next year and teach us? And he was crying. So that's where my heart pulls so much, the pain, because these young kids, they need somebody. And I'm sure you all have done it. And so I have a lot of the young men who are reaching out to me, and even Health, some of the young girls. And the young girls are hard stop. I mean, that's not a question. I won't even talk late at night. I call my wife, but people need help. And I know you know that Health. So in my little community, not that I'm a star, all of us are stars, but there's a number of young people and even their parents. I've had parents say, Ramon, can you take my son out, begging me? And so thank you, Health. It's something I'll chew on, pray on, and try to do try to figure out how to do this. But Health, I can't wait to hear your segment. Can't wait to unfollow you because you're going to be cooking. It's going to be so good. I can't wait to unfollow you. Good day.
Yes, thank you for bringing that.
Yesterday, now we got to unfollow you.
Oh, God. I'm telling you, but I'm so grateful that he stirred that. And just Ramon, you made me remember. This is why I went and I sat and met with the chief of police, because I understood that relationship, like the young boys that were coming to our Books in the Hood stuff, Ramon, like that's that connecting piece. Like, I'm not worried about whether what happened with their parents and this, that, and the other. I just know that that role, that fatherly like touch, even if it has to be in a group setting. And I'm so grateful that, you know, they've agreed to, like, so the police did a movie thing, like they set up on the park. And so like the kids got to get paired with some of the cops. Like, seriously. Like, and I'm just glad that things like that and people like you, Ramon, I'm just saying that that role, when you have that void there when you're really young, it just makes even just an hour a week, Ramon, just can really truly change your a kid's life, and you feel special even if it's just 20 minutes. Like, there's a dad, somebody else's dad loved me enough to like spend that one-on-one time. It's almost like you get a pill of a fatherhood, if that makes sense to you. Like, I just really wanted to, you know, just kind of throw that out there. All right, y'all. Listen. I'm bringing you to what happens when my guys show in, you know, and they come in, and they about to get fined because they over the weight limit that they need for their competition, and now I got to actually come and cook. When they hear this playing, they already know what time it is. Hey, all right, I gotta bring them to that Miami, the drill sergeant. Yeah, I'm about to drill it all the way down. Glenn asked the question last month. I'm gonna go ahead and drill them down. I'm gonna go ahead and drill it all the way down. What? Hey, oh yeah, left, right, left, right. Listen, when you think about major pain, listen, you're gonna think about me. So here's the thing. We're gonna yield the metabolic heal. And I need people to understand this because I'm tired of like the lies and the misnomers and all of the stuff that's out there. And I'm tired of people talking out the side of their neck and they don't know what they talking about. You ain't got nobody licensed when it comes down to sports medicine. You don't even understand how competitive weight manipulation goes. You don't even understand that there is such a thing as being metabolically healthy obese. Every single linebacker, every single lineman that's in the NFL, metabolically obese. Guess what? Those javelin throwers, metabolically healthy obese. You get what I'm saying? Also, look at your average sumo wrestler. So a lot of people have heard a whole bunch of foolery on weight. And guess what? I just need to tell you to shut up. All right. I got 4 lies. I'm finna go ahead and make sure that I cook right on up out of here. Right? So this whole segment came about. I said, this is if Glenn Lundy was my High Rocks athlete. He just walked in. So I use a formula called the Mifflin St. Jor. If somebody can actually, I'm going to spell it out, drop it in the chat for me. You can go ahead and configure it. This will get you close. It's not an exact science. I don't have a fit index scan or a DEXA scan on him, so I don't know what his percentages are to a fine tune, right? But this will get me close in the range, right? Because he's preparing for this competition and he's adding on weight. Obviously, when you have something, when your body is building more muscle mass, guess what's going to happen? You're going to also increase a bit of the weight. That scale may or may not go up. So let's deal with lie number one. Because see, I need us to break free from the lies that you've been living. And a lot of this has been because of who has the microphone and has the narrative. Lie number one, muscle do not weigh more than fat. They both weigh, you put a 5 pounds of fat on the scale, 5 pounds of muscle on the scale. Guess what? They both weigh the same thing. So I'm gonna need people to stop lying about that. All right, that's lie number one. Yeah, I came to cook and I'm okay. Listen, but it takes up less space. Yes.
I get exactly what you're saying, and I think that's so funny because it's like 5 pounds is 5 pounds. But can you clarify just for my brain real quick on that? Is if you took a cup of fat and a cup of muscle, okay, they'd both still be a cup. That's probably a bad example. But would one just be more dense? Is that why we get it confused?
No, it's actually because fat is going to appear bigger. It has more volume. So it takes up less space. So that's why sometimes people will say, wait, the scale isn't moving, but you're shrinking. You've dropped a size. This is why you actually, it takes up less space. So that's why it's far more valuable to, yeah. So the weight,
Makes sense.
yep.
My brain had to wrap
Yeah, so a cup wouldn't fit the same amount of fat that it would as far as weight goes when it comes down to the muscle, because the muscle is smaller. It takes up less space. So that's why someone who is of this, who's muscular, of the same weight versus someone who is not, they're going to look completely different. And the person that has all of that, let's say 200 pounds and mostly muscle, they're going to look way different than someone who is 200 pounds and they're, predominantly, like, it's fat, and fat in the worst way, high visceral fat, like all these. There's fat communities. All fat ain't equal. So that's why I said, you know what, let's start with lie number one. So when y'all hear folks tell you about, oh, fat muscle weighs more than fat, the devil is a lie. He a big old fat juicy crispy extra cray lie. No, it don't. All right. Lie number two. There is no external wraps or creams or solutions that you could put on the outside to help you oxidize fat or burn fat. That's how I know you's a lie, and the truth ain't nowhere in you, because it absolutely do. Why? We do it every day in sports medicine, especially in when it comes down to football, when it comes down to wrestlers who can sometimes be very, very stubborn, and as well as boxers. You guys got to understand something. You really think with all the things that we've created and all of the type of technology, are you really that naive to believe that there aren't any topical solutions that can actually help somebody burn fat? Like, come on, be for real. Be for real. Be for real. Of course it exists. What people ain't telling you is that they don't know the truth, that they haven't been exposed to it, and they don't really truly understand biochemistry as it pertains to your body, the human anatomy and physiology aspect of things. We've been doing this for years and it works. And the reason why I know it works is because we got to be able to produce the results in short time periods. All right, so let's get to line number three. And then I'm finna cook and tell you some things that you could do and what I would have Glenn doing to stop from now until he actually competes, gaining weight, right? So, number three, saunas can't help you burn calories. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Oh, I almost blew a gasket in the sauna this past week listening to a fool in the sauna sitting there telling her friends. And I'm just like, I'm so sick of people who've never gone through any licensing process. I'm so sick of these overnight health influencers stepping up to the mic and you leading folks astray. And y'all listening to Lottie Dottie everybody, and they have nothing on the line. They have no skin in the game. You know, my skin in the game is the National Athletic Training Association. It's sports medicine. Like, there's a way, there's a process. Like you can't be playing with this stuff. It's a what have you done for me lately type of industry. It's applied health in medicine. It ain't no, oh, you going through all of these reviews, this, that, and if you can't produce results, you fired. You are fired. That's what type of industry I'm in. So when I'm telling you, like, I can't do the Mickey Mouse stuff no more, y'all. I can't do all of this back and forth in the foolery that people like to go. And you listening to these people who took a weekend class versus somebody who's been doing stuff for 24 and a half years. I came to cook this morning. I'm just saying. So that was line number three. Line number four. This is my last line. I'm finna go with you. That you can't lose a pound in a day. You mean to tell me somebody can make $1 million in a day? That somebody actually broke the record of that, the 4-minute mile? And I think somebody done got it even down to that. Just because you don't know how to do it, you can't sit up here and tell me something can't be done when it's being done all the time. Do you understand what's on the line for a boxer if they can't make weight and you got to go up to the next weight class? Man, somebody can get killed out there, or either you're done, you're canceled. There's too much money on the line. My personal record is for my athletes, it's 3 pounds in a day. I ain't telling you something about that I heard. I'm telling you something that I know for a fact. And my own personal record is because my best friend was ear hustling. It's 6 pounds in a 24-hour period, because she was listening in at the time she was with me, literally while I was going through this with one of my athletes. So I'm just saying to you guys that, listen, I'm done listening to the lies. I'm done being patient, letting people be led to the slaughter. That don't got to be you. That ain't got to be you. So thing number one, right? So I ran Glenn's numbers, and I really wish he would have called me, because I was going to actually have my mentor was going to, has a lot more sophisticated things. He does work for the Olympics. This is a Hall of Famer. I told him about Glenn, and we could have really truly like cooked some more like definitive stuff. But I'm just gonna go ahead and give you the kitchen sink right now, right? So, first things first. You got to create a disco inferno type of environment to stop the weight gain prior to competition or whatever the thing is you're trying to do. Some of this stuff, if you guys just try one of them, it'll help you, and you got time. You're not in a time crunch, so you have time to implement these things. Now, I will say this: if you ain't mentally ready, don't start none of this because there is a fat tax to be played. So when you try to yo-yo and do all of that, that's why when I got back from Creative Con, I stopped at my first 17 because I already knew I was getting ready to be on some foolishness and start playing around with that Krispy Kreme. So I don't want to pay no fat tax. I was like, pause. We finna stay where we at. And then once I'm ready to get up out of that foolishness, guess what? Now we'll keep going. So I'll say this: this ain't nothing about no yo-yo. Don't if you plan, don't even think about it. You can just turn a deaf ear. How about that? So number one, the super hydration period. It actually exists. Your first waking hour. Here's the thing. We talk about a 401k. Listen, you got a 401k in your body called matching calorie burns. And not only just any matching calories. Listen, we're talking about fat calories. Listen, I want every man to hear me under the sound of my voice. You have even more on the line when it comes down to visceral fat because your body is predisposed to actually wanting to increase the weight, the fat community there, which is that organ fat. So you worried about that scale when I'm more so worried about your waist to hip ratio. I'm more so worried about what's going on with your visceral fat. So everything that I'm talking about is today is going to help you gobble some of the most dangerous, the most metabolically active fat in the worst way, which is the visceral fat. All right. So ladies, I'm gonna be coming down your street too, but I just had to give you that caveat, when it comes down to the fellas, right? So here's the thing. You can take it up. And if somebody is doing what Glenn is doing, I know that he'll get the 50% matching calorie burn. It's drinking at least 17 to 24 hours within your first waking hour. At minimum, you're going to get an extra 30% calorie burn. So let's say, for instance, Ramon came in. Ramon is burning 100 calories, per minute, right? Just for Ramon drinking water, 17 ounces at minimum, I know for a fact that guess what? He's going to be burning now 130 calories. This ain't you ain't got to take my word for it. This actually exists. So, I don't know about you. He ain't had to lift no weight yet. He ain't done none of that. This is going to be for a 24-hour period just by tapping into the super hydration period. Now, if we want to take it up and get to that 50% rate, listen, I'm going to encourage Ramon to go for more than 17. At least give me the 24. And this is within your first waking hour. I want you to get that 50% matching calorie burn. Ramon has that capability of, guess what? Now burning, listen, 150 per minute. And I'm just giving you a round number. So take advantage of that matching calorie burn where you ain't even had to go do nothing for it. It's just strategically drinking water within the first waking hour. So that's thing number one. Now we go for what we call our 30 for 30. So now I got to get you into a fat oxidation state before you actually do anything else, before I hyper spike your cortisol levels. I need you on a treadmill or walking at an incline, or if you ain't got access to that, then just a simple walk for 30 minutes. And now I'm going to do one or two things. We're going to do some EGCG, depending on whether I got 1 pound to get off them, 2 pounds, or 3 pounds. Glenn is the only 1 point off. So I wouldn't even have to do all of these for him. I'm just giving you guys multiple options of what we actually do when it's crunch time, because we get busy in that we cook in this kitchen. There are ways to manipulate weight, and guess what? There's ways to also put on weight for people who need to actually get bigger in a healthy way. I'm just saying, I'm ready to cook. Listen, that EGCG is what you get from cream tea. And it's not going to break your fast. I'm going to say it again. It is not going to break your fast. So now, depending on the type of protein that you have, we do 30 grams of protein. We ain't chewing no food. We ain't eating none of that. 30 for 30. So we got to walk for 30. I need 30 grams of protein. When I tell you your visceral fat is in trouble, listen, you talking about oxidizing some fat. Listen, this is where it's at. and also now adding in that EGCG. Guess what EGCG likes to do? It mobilizes your brown fat. Look at brown fat as the ghostbusters in your body. It's going after the white fat, which is what you're showing up with on that scale. And it's also going after your most dangerous fat, which is the visceral fat. And all of us can afford, and I say us, all of us can afford to reduce some of that visceral fat because we live in America and we done had processed foods. So don't tell me that you ain't got no visceral fat. Everybody do. You can be skinny fat as well. I'm just saying we all have it, and we need trace amounts of it. But in America, we got way too much, and across the pond, y'all ain't too far off from us. I need you to understand, especially over in Ireland. Next, I'm finna call cryo. So this is where the ice bath come in. This is where a cold shower or a cold plunge comes in. Listen, if you got to do the heat first, so be it. But if you can get 1 to 2 minutes of cold, cool. Come on out. Next, I'm calling the HGH. This is why I said I need people to stop talking to you with these lies about the sauna can't help you. Here's what you get in a sauna. You're going to get free HGH. You ain't had to go buy it from no doctor. I'm telling you this. Like, this is how you finna spend a good portion of your day. If you got to make weight by the evening, listen, we finna get that free calorie burn from what? HGH, human growth hormone. You guys realize that your lungs are going to help you expel it out. This is how I can't stand where all of these fake overnight health influencers be getting up and they talking out the side of their neck and they leading you astray and they don't know what they talking about. There's a difference when somebody has to manipulate their weight for competition versus somebody grandma down the street that's just trying to do it, for what? Your body weight is 20% of your health equation, but you forgetting the other 80% of the things that go into your man. Sit down somewhere. Sit down. This is my lane. I'm in sports medicine. I work with athletes every single day. And what I can't stand is when somebody starts trying to talk on something that they don't know nothing about in this arena. Because if you did, I would know who you are. And if I don't know who you are, you really truly not like that. You ain't in the top 10%. You ain't really eating. And the best people in sports medicine, guess where they got? They right down here in South Florida. That's where I trained at. And that's how I know what I know. I'm just saying. So listen, people all around the country, all around the world, where I trained, guess what? That's who when Dion, prime time. Listen, that the first year of my internship, guess where Dallas sent him? Right down here to Miami. Dr. Uribe, Dr. Vijay, and now Dr. Kaplan and Dr. Heckman. These are the top 3 orthopedics in the business. And my personal mentor who does what I do, Vinny Scavo. Yep, a guy from Staten Island. Listen, these are the top dogs in the industry. That's who trained me. That's how I know what can be done. So if you really think, when you think about who prime time is and was, do you really think that somebody as valuable as that, they're going to send them here if that wasn't the best? Like, stop playing with me. So I'm telling you, like, for real, what actually works. HGH is your friend. HGH is going to help you burn those calories. I'm just saying, if you want to yield the metabolic heal, listen, you can say what you want to say. Here's what I do understand. I'm metabolically healthy obese. Some of y'all, if you looked at our charts side by side, some of y'all stuck like Chuck. My artery age is 26, baby, and I'm 48, about to be 49. I'm just letting you know. So some people like to clown folks, but yet and still you skinny fat. So you need to get it together. You better heal your metabolism. You better heal your mitochondria. Everything I'm talking to you about today is for you to go ahead and be able to actually mobilize your brown fat. So if you don't have access to get into a cold plunge or things like that, guess what? After that HGH, we can go ahead. I'll pack them up with some cold packs. Put a barrier on. I'm putting it along your shoulders, along your abdomen. Guess what? And even along your lower back. Why? Because adults, once your growth plates close, which is usually somewhere between 21 and 25, guess what? All your brown fat sores are along your spinal column, around your shoulder area. So guess what? I'm finna call them out. I'm finna call them out like a brown fat whisperer so it can go ahead and mobilize and so it can start to eat. That's what it is. That's the name of this game. This is why those big guys on the field, they're metabolically healthy. Why? Because it's going to increase your adiponectin. And you ain't got to take my word. There's a guy by the name of Dr. Philip Schurer. Listen, there's so much data that has come out of, I think it's the South Florida, University of South Florida. I forget their long name, but it's their university. I think it's close to Southwest Texas University, something like that. But Dr. Philip Schurer, Dr. Philip Schurer, that's his name. So here's the thing, for those of y'all who are nerds like me that want to go ahead and do some more research on this. Listen, menthol wraps. Menthol wraps. Why? Because it's going to mimic cold. It's a calling card for brown fat. So I want to send that brown fat signal out into your body streets so it can keep eating that fat. I'm just saying. Again, are you going to respond to every single one of these? Hey, we all are different. But you're going to respond to some of this for sure. And that 30-minute walk and that EGCG, like fasted cardio with that, oh, you going to respond. You going to respond. That brown fat going to get activated. So not only that, when it's time for them to have what we would call a meal, you drinking your meal, I'm putting in there some Onnit MCT oil because I already know for a fact it is what it is and it's going to coat their stomach. But I also have to implement and activate CCK. I got to activate PYY. GLP-1 ain't the only one. PYY is one of the best ones. So we're talking about something that's going to cross into the brain and tell the brain, hey, yo, we good, homie. We good. We full. I'm trying to modulate ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, so I can help you get through the day. So you can get through the day. So here's the thing. When people don't know what they talking about, they just be saying anything. And if you want to get the replays on the CCK and the PYY, listen, I taught that on Monday. Listen, I did Medicinal Monday in the morning at 9 a.m. And then Ruckin' and Buckin', I covered PYY. So you guys can go back and get that, right? Then you can use the water cure. Your body has stretch receptors. I get so tired of people lying, saying, oh, water can't help you. It absolutely can, especially some seltzer water. Listen, this is the time where you want to ruin your appetite. So 30 minutes before I'm going to have them do this shake, guess what we're doing? We're going to have at least 4 to 8 ounces of seltzer water. Why? Because I know I'm going to activate those stretch receptors. Yes. So what is that going to do? It's going to already send a signal like, oh my gosh, I'm getting full, even though you're not. And then I'm going to go ahead and now you're going to have your shake. What's in that shake? Listen, I got mint up in there. No peanut butter. I am not a fan of peanut butter. Peanut butter has aflatoxins in there. So it's going to either be tahini or it's going to be pecan butter, something like that, or possibly coconut butter. Yep. And then guess what? I got all of the green teas because I'm going hard in the paint on the EGCG. I got matcha green tea. I got turmeric green tea, ginger green tea, pomegranate green tea, or mint green tea, depending on the season. I only like to do pomegranate in the fall time when pomegranate is actually in season, right? So here's the thing. That's in one of the drinks, right? So I already told you about the water cure and your stretch receptors. Yep, it's a real thing. You could spoil your appetite because I'm going to call on CCK. I'm going to call on PYY, but I'm also going to put a shot of EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. So not only that, if this is one of my bigger guys where it definitely may be a bigger struggle, I can also add in some leeks, kefir, kimchi, kiwi, avocado, listen, and possibly some blueberries. Now, there's also a tea called pu'er tea. This is something that actually will help your body oxidize fat. Then you got yerba mate, or you can do the oolong tea, which will actually help, you lengthen the amount of time for you being like hungry. Like it really truly helps with satiety and helps your body pump out more CCK as well as PYY. Now, I know some of y'all may have heard of the movie Magic Mike, and I'm almost done, y'all. Listen, there's this tea called guayusa. It's like GUAY and then USA. Guayusa tea. That's a bad mama jamma. So when I'm telling you, you can create a disco inferno when it comes down to competitive like weight manipulation, listen, it can be done. And then you see on those movies how you see the guys are doing the stadium stairs. The act of walking up a stair burns the most calories, point blank, period. It's not a bike, it's not a walk, it's not none. It's the act of actually walking up a stair. So and citrus. Those are the two things that burn the most calories. So I just wanted to stop with all of the lies. I wanted to stop having people playing in your face. And I came to make sure that you could yield the metabolic heal wherever you are, whether you losing weight or not. Listen, your metabolism can be healthier than what it is. Listen, I'm Shawnte and I ain't come to play. Listen, I want you to live long, live strong. If you want to actually tap in and know where your numbers are, use the Mifflin St. Jour equation. That's my time, y'all. Peace.
Oh, wow. It was a lot of information, my friend. Oh, 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 good. I'm just sitting here saying like, well, I'm just not doing anything right. I'm just kidding. I'm actually I'm down with a lot of the stuff. Something that we all have to. I was talking a lot yesterday with a lot of my clients. In your life, a lot of people focus on money and mindset and everything, but I've always gone by the idea that on a healthy body rests a healthy mind. So I think that, one of the reasons why I maintain my health coaching in all the endeavors that I do is I think that if it's not something that you can skip, you can't. We're gonna talk a lot about the stepping into your superpower of creativity and stuff like that. I got a great one for you today, but you can't skip the vessel. So always great information, my friend. So any of you leaders here want to reset the room? Just make sure that we acknowledge all of the new people coming in.